Hey, welcome to another edition of Six Pack Cinema. It's episode 56, and this week, Sheehan and I are reviewing Ocean's 8, the all-female sequel to the George Clooney Ocean's trilogy. Let's get into it.
Dude, you should review movies.
Oh my god, yes.
Okay, I've had a couple, so...
Time for movie review.
How you doing, Sheehan?
Doing awesome.
I guess we should say Jimmy's not here this week. He had a wedding in Utah he had to go to, which sounds like a blast. So, hope you're having fun, Jimmy.
Hopefully it's the good Utah.
This is a good Utah?
No. Of course not. He's in the middle of fucking nowhere. Hopefully he's got internet connection because we're going to need him to edit these things.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's hop into it then. What's your quick one-sentence summary?
Sucked.
How you feel about this movie?
Sucked.
All right.
Disappointment is the crucial word here.
Okay, that's fair. I can see how how someone would feel that way. I think this movie had the cardinal sin of just being aggressively mediocre. There were parts that were good and parts that were really bad, but throughout the whole thing, I was just like, okay. And there was actually a point in the movie, I was watching it last night, and I was like, oh, when I get home, it's end of day, I can start a report to get ahead of work tomorrow. And that's never what you should be thinking in the middle of a movie.
Nope, that's a big no-no.
God.
So
what do you want to...
Want me to elaborate on
first.
why it sucked and was a disappointment?
Well, I feel like, let's go through a few things. I think the biggest reason it sucked was probably the script.
Yeah, no, I'll elaborate. If you're carrying the name Oceans, that's a big deal. Ocean's 11 is one of my favorite movies, and a lot of people's. It's universally known as a good movie. We can agree on that.
Fantastic.
All right, and what made that so good is a monster cast, heavy names, a good story, entertaining. You didn't know if it was going to work or not. There was problems arising, and they had to fix it on the fly. And then at the very end, it was like, oh, wait, he was actually really in control of this the whole time. In this one, it was, oh, they're super in control of this and not much is happening. And oh, shit, okay, no, nothing's popping up. This is going, there's 80,000 things that needs to go right, and they're going right. You need to get a job with this really high-level publication. Oh, cool, you got the assistant to the editor like that. Oh, you need to be a cook? Oh, I got a cook. Well, it's just there was at no point were you ever like, oh wow, this is an insurmountable obstacle.
Yes, I agree. There was no tension.
No.
It was just everything went right for them.
Yeah, and so that was my biggest point. It was at no point did I feel like any kind of tension at all. My second one was stupidity. Sandra Bullock just got out of prison. And she's flashing her face all over the place. There's a huge heist going on, and she's next to every fucking camera. But that's my own. It's an alibi.
Well, that was
It's her alibi. Well, yeah. How did you get your alibi? Is that you impersonated someone else to get into the Met Gala? What the fuck do you think you're there? To see the dresses and the art? I mean, you're there for a purpose. That's a huge red flag. It's stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could argue the fact that oh yeah, well you could see me when the heist happened. I wasn't doing anything. But the point is, you shouldn't have put yourself in the conversation at all.
Yes. She should have been, back at the home base,
Yes.
directing everyone.
Like Danny Ocean in Ocean's 11, he got himself arrested. Even though he was still technically in on it, he got himself to put in that little side room and get the shit kicked out of him for 3 hours.
Well, that's why in the beginning, because I actually like the first scene, because it's clearly an homage to the first scene of the first one where he's getting out of jail. And I was like, all right, this could be fun. And I thought that's what they were going to, because clearly they were just ripping off the first one. They just did it horribly in this. So I thought, oh, she's going to cause a scene so that, she's arrested and, that would be the distraction probably. It was, her causing a scene with something else.
Yeah.
And that's how they get to steal the necklace.
Yeah, that would have been creative.
Yeah.
For putting.
I was like, well, at least if you're gonna rip off the first one, do it in a smart way.
Yeah, but they couldn't. They couldn't. I came into this movie so high. I mean, I was very excited about it. I was like, all right, all female cast, but it works because it's the sibling of Danny Ocean. It's like I just saw it working out well.
I love the cast too. I think the only person who I didn't think was great was Mindy Kaling, but I thought she
Okay.
was still okay.
I thought she was she was passable. I mean, she wasn't
Yeah.
an all-star by any means, but
But I mean, everyone I feel like loves Mindy, and I was like, well, you just got out-acted by Aquafina in this.
oh no, she did not.
Oh, she definitely did.
Aquafina
was a better character.
Aquafina was my number one hate factor for this movie.
Oh, I liked her more than Mindy Kaling.
She sucks in this movie. She doesn't know how to act. She wasn't a character. She was a caricature. Big difference. She overacted.
Once again, I think that's just the writing.
No. The writing does not tell you to be a little dipshit. Do the little do the shrug with your face going down. It's just
It does, though.
No, it doesn't. She was told to be a sleight of hand kind of cool kid, millennial, and she took it to the umpteenth degree. Oh, way overdid it.
Yeah.
Very,
I
very,
disagree.
very much disliked everything about her. Every time she was on screen, she brought it
Yeah.
down.
But I mean, I think a big problem with this movie, though, too, is I'm just going to keep going back to and harping on it, is the script. Because I think Sandra Bullock did well. I think Anne Hathaway is my favorite part. She stole every scene she was in. She was great, I felt.
Yep.
And what's her name? Sandra Bullock. Oh, Debbie Ocean's like second in command.
Oh yeah, Kate Blanchett, Lou.
Yes, I thought she was good, but she just wasn't given much to do.
See,
Again,
it goes back to writing. I think she did well with what she had, but
Yeah.
I'm sitting there the whole time thinking, all right, well, she is just basically Brad Pitt, and they're trying to make her Brad Pitt in every possible way. Mm-hmm. You know, it was
Even with the scene where like she pulled her outside and she's like, "You don't pull."
exactly.
It was like the exact same fucking line. You don't pull a con in a con.
It was a mirror. It was terrible.
Yeah.
She was a victim of piss poor writing. So she did great with what she did, but I mean, she just had to watch the first one and just mimic.
Yeah.
I was very surprised at how much I enjoyed Rihanna.
Rihanna, I think, is good when people know how to use her the right way.
Is this her first? No, this isn't the first one. She was in
This
that
is her third
Battleship thing too.
She was in Battleship, which I think she was bad in.
She was.
in Valerian, which I thought she was fine. Like, she did her part well in that, too. The movie just was boring.
Yep.
And then she did well in this, I thought. The movie was just bland again.
Yeah, I think she did great. If you use her as kind of like a not soft spoken, but a someone who doesn't speak up much, who just chooses her words very, very. I don't know. She's just very calculated and shady. Rihanna has to be shady. That's just what it has to be.
Well, I don't know if you saw Valerian. She was like a alien burlesque dancer in that, and very good.
Well, I mean,
Not shady, though.
you put her in burlesque, it's gonna be fine.
Oh, yeah.
You can own that. But Anne Hathaway, great because she played a bitch, and I think that's just really close to home for her.
Oh, I think it was purposely written to make fun of that, because everyone has that perception of her.
Yeah,
And I feel like it was made to make fun of that.
absolutely.
Yeah. It was great. But when she dropped the stupid act, too, she's like, no, of course I figured out. I'm playing an act. People want an actress to act this way.
Yeah. I don't know. Character-wise, actresses, I think they all did great, with the exception of the Aquafina, and which I think just her name bothers me. She's naming herself after a fucking water bottle. That's stupid.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, she's a rapper, I think.
Yeah, she's a rapper and TV personality.
Oh.
So
Yeah,
she-
I didn't know. All I know is BoJack had like a few episodes where they made fun of her, and I didn't know that was a real person until I saw the trailer for this.
If you said someone's rapper's name was Aquafina, I would just assume it was a joke.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, oh, they're like making fun of all like millennial YouTube rapper people, but no, it was a real person.
Yeah, it'd be like a country singer naming himself Bush Light.
That'd actually be good.
It probably would fit pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we've bashed the bejesus out of the writing. We know it's bad. What parts of it did you like the least?
The least?
Yeah.
Oof. All right, the one scene that really stood out to me as being the worst one, because it didn't really have anything to do with anything else in the movie, was when Aquafina was teaching Mindy Kaling how to use Tinder.
Yes.
And I was like, it's 2018, and it is in the movie, because they show dates in the movie. How the fuck do you not know how to use Tinder? Even if you don't use Tinder, you know how to do it.
You know what it is.
Yeah.
It's like it's a trope now.
If
It's
you're
like
under 40, you know what it is.
It's the same thing if you're watching a sitcom and the grandma's on screen and she's like, "How do you use Facebook? How do I like this?" It's just same old bullshit you use over and over again. Everyone knows how to use Facebook, whether they do or they don't. They're aware of it. You know,
Yeah.
and it's just it was cringeworthy. If you're single, living in New York City with your parents at her age, I want to say she's mid-20s in this movie. You fucking know Tinder.
Yeah,
You know
Yeah.
Tinder.
absolutely.
Yep.
So that was my one scene I really hated. What about you?
That was up there. I think that was pretty much my number one. I hated. You want to talk about the twist yet, or want to save that one?
Let's do your other hated scene, and then we'll do cameos, which will lead into twists.
Okay, what bothered me really bad was Mindy Kaling's scene where she takes the jewelry into the bathroom, and all of a sudden she's got a full setup of her. That's like Mr. Magoo type bullshit. I'm not a fan of.
Yeah, that just seemed too well prepared.
Yes.
Again.
I would
have liked if she had to go into the wrong bathroom or something, and she didn't have her stuff that they had planted earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, and I watch movies with gods from Asgard and guys who fly around in metal spacesuits and guys who summon sorcery. And this bathroom scene was more ridiculous than any of those I watch. More unbelievable.
For sure. Mm-hmm. All right, let's hop into the cameos. Let's start with the first one. What did you think about Ruben coming out by Danny's grave?
Stupid. I mean, did they have to just... The name of the movie is already Oceans. We know it's tied in. What
but
purpose
you
did
know
he
they
serve?
have to like show something with Danny Ocean, and if he's dead, I'm doing quotation marks now. It's bad radio because you know he's definitely not in there.
Yeah, that was so heavy-handed. It's like, oh, I hope you're proud of me if you're really in there. Foreshadowing.
Yes.
Also, we know damn well that they want to do a team up of all of them in Ocean's 10 or whatever.
Yeah. I was reading a report. Apparently, that cameo was originally the Matt Damon one, and then after all the Me Too stuff that came out in December,
pulled Matt Damon?
Yeah, they cut his scene and reshot it with Ruben.
That's funny. Just because he came out and he defended Weinstein originally.
Well, no, that wasn't it. It was that he said that rape and like drunkenly groping a girl's ass, they're both horrible, but one is worse than the other.
Yep, that
and
too.
apparently that's not allowed nowadays.
No, I mean, he had a decent point. He just said it in the worst, stupidest way possible. And like we've already covered this a couple weeks ago. Don't say anything.
Oh yeah, but that's why.
Just don't say anything.
That's the reason he got cut from the movie, which is stupid. And I also feel like Linus was a better character for that scene. It works like Linus would be the one coming to talk to him.
No, it should have been Brad Pitt.
Yeah,
I think it should have been Brad Pitt. Because Saul, whatever his name is, he I don't know. I saw him and come around the corner with this big fucking hat and was a mink jacket. I was like, this is another caricature. It was way overdone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then did you catch the one line they did toss Damon later in the movie? When they were going through people they needed, and right before, I don't know if that was another cameo just from a different person, when she held up the photo of some black guy, and she was like, no, we want women.
Yeah.
But before that, she was like, oh, what about Linus? And Debbie was like, no, he's still in jail.
Oh.
So I guess now he's in jail.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, he's in PC jail.
Let's
Matt Damon's
talk
been
about
doing a lot of cameos, man. He's been turning into a cameo king.
I think he's just like having fun with it in his old age. He's like, fuck it, I'll show up in a movie.
Shit, why not, right?
Yeah.
Everyone loves him. If Matt Damon comes on screen, it brightens your day.
Without a doubt. Well, in Interstellar, yes, and then very quickly no.
I actually didn't see Interstellar yet.
Oh, well, oops.
Don't worry.
Spoiler alert.
It's like 3 or 4 years old. I'm past the pony spoilers.
Let's talk about the other big cameo, which is one of the twists, which is Yen is actually the 9th member of the team.
8th.
Anne Hathaway's the 8th.
Then he wasn't a member of the team. So then this whole the name of the movie doesn't make fucking sense.
Oh.
Don't worry, I'm here.
Sorry. Yeah,
Okay.
it froze for a sec.
Then the movie doesn't make sense, though. The name, it's stupid.
I actually like that twist because the only people who were in on it were Debbie, not Kate Blanchett. Kate Blanchett,
Lou.
and Yen.
Mindy.
And I liked
Mindy.
that. Was I don't think she was.
Minnie had to make all the extra jewelry.
Oh, she did. Well,
Yep.
whatever. They had to use her. But I liked that at first, besides Mindy, it was all the experienced criminals had this whole separate scheme going on, and they used all the rookies as a distraction. That
Yep.
I liked. I was like, all right, they're like testing these people out, and if they get caught, fuck them. They cause a distraction. We got way more jewelry.
See, that's that. I hated that. It was a twist for the sake of having a twist, and they could have wrote that like on set the last day, like, oh hey, wouldn't it be cool if we did this, and then just toss it in there at the end. There was no foreshadowing, with the exception of her buying a fucking submarine. With the exception of that, there was no like foreshadowing of that at all. Correct?
Yeah,
So
that's correct.
So when it first started happening, I was like, oh shit! I was happy when I saw Yen. I was like, oh, that's cool. I like how he's involved now. But then when I realized he was there to steal all of the necklaces, I was like, well, that just kind of couldn't you have just like pulled a fire alarm and got enough time for him to do this yourself and not have to like go through the whole trouble with the big one? I mean, it was flawed to have this one just
Yes.
it was shoehorned in there.
I have two problems with it. One, I think you're right. It was I liked it, but it was shoehorned in. I would have liked in that scene where they had mentioned Linus was in jail if they went through most of the other Ocean's crew.
Mm-hmm.
And like we're like, oh, why don't we get this or why don't we get that? And so like you think, oh, maybe they'll loop someone in later. Like a quick way to toss that out.
Yeah.
And then also, I didn't like that in the beginning of the movie, they said, no, we're not going to steal from the Met. It's a museum. We're going to steal from Cartier. And then they ended up stealing from the Met. They stole the Met's fucking necklaces.
Well, that wasn't actually the Met. That was on loan from royal families.
Oh, all right. I must have missed that line. I was like,
Yeah,
well,
that
don't
was still
steal
on
from
loan.
the people you said you not to. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was all on loan stuff. So they stole from royal families. And the best part is no one will know because they had this complete farce of a machine to make replicas of just. As a 3D printer professionally, that machine bothered me to no end. It was so stupid. You can't print cubic zirconium like that. You just can't.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
You got to suspend your disbelief a little bit.
I know. I'm not knocking you for that, but I'm just saying on the side, like, come the fuck on.
You're just like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
But how many people actually work in 3D printers besides you?
Well, people know enough that like you can't put on some sunglasses and do a fucking 3D scan. It's just technology isn't there yet. It's close, but not really there yet.
Well, in the Ocean's world, it is.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, that's no demerit points there. That's just me being nitpicky.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything else?
I also want to talk about what the hell is her name? Helena Bonham Carter. The
Who is
Rose Wheel.
she? Oh, yes. She had like a subplot going that they just dropped.
I know, which was kind of weird, but there was a lot of things juggling in the air. This is the first time I've seen her in a movie. I think without Johnny Depp, to be honest, and I thought she was excellent. She was the right kind of weird. It was perfect casting. She played the same role she always plays, kind of like really bizarre, odd, like out of place person who was really kind of creative genius in her own right. So she was cast correctly. It's too bad she does this all the time, but it was a good call, and I think she crushed it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, no, I liked her too. I guess I liked all the actresses. I just wish there was a better movie. How did you feel about? It's not Jimmy Fallon. James Corden.
fuck that whole line, that whole story of him, and I just, it's like it's angering at how stupid you think we are. Oh, we're gonna have this insurance fraud guy. He's interested in two things: getting the money back, finding out who's at fault, or getting the diamonds back. But oh wait, he doesn't really care. He'll go along with your blackmail, and he'll let you walk away, despite knowing that you did steal it. It's just It was so stupid. Like, this guy he's a professional. His one job is to investigate insurance fraud, and get like the original thing back, and then he throws it all out the window because he knows this. She's like, oh, well, yeah, I've thrown you in jail before. I know you're a bad person, and I know you stole it, but I'll go along, because you got your heart broken and you got fucked over. So, it's good. I'll take care of you. So stupid.
Oh, yeah. I wish that if they just cut his scenes and expanded on the heist where, like, something goes wrong or they have to switch it up or something like that, the movie goes up so much more in my book.
Yeah.
It just felt tacked on and pointless.
It would have been great if they. I mean, I didn't mind the whole like blackmailing the guy who fucked her over, because that made sense. I mean, she's vindictive, and granted,
that's what happened in the first one too.
Yeah, granted, it was a lot like that, but to a different extent. Obviously, it's just no. They what they could have done, that I would have been happy about, is if they pinned it on Anne Hathaway. Like, because it was good how they threw the heist and the guy realized it was a fake. I like that, because then that's a problem that they didn't anticipate, and they had to scramble. But in no way did they address it as a problem in this movie. They're like, oh, well, we already thought about this mistake that we didn't anticipate happening. We already thought about it. Fundamentally does not make sense. So if they had pinned it on Anne Hathaway and this miserable bitch, rich celebrity went to jail for them, I'd like that. That's nice.
Yeah, that could have been fun.
But anything you could have done, if you just didn't go by the route of the insurance fraud, and you just wrote out James Corbin and that whole deal, it would have been so much better. And it was the yen heist that got shoehorned and then promptly followed by this. And I was like, well, this is a 1-2 punch of fuck it, and I just was completely out of it by the time the movie ended.
Fair. So let's say a few things we liked about the movie. I feel like we've been pretty negative on it. What are
we've been negative.
Things you liked?
Sandra Bullock, she can do no wrong. I love her.
Yeah, I thought she was great in this.
How old is she?
I think mid-40s, late 40s.
Looks great. Good for her. She looks. Or 1964. What does that put her at?
I have no idea.
50 something.
Oh. Well,
54
bravo.
years old? Yeah, good for her. She's looking great.
Yeah.
What else can I say about this movie? That's good.
Yeah, I think I would have also liked more. Fuck the good shit. Let's just. How would we have improved it?
Katie Holmes being at the table was kind of funny.
Yes, I did like the celebrity cameos. I like that they had actual celebrities there.
I like how like they had her name on the table, like it's like the little like flag, like, oh, Katie Holmes is gonna sit at your table, and then like when she only had 3 seconds on camera, and I was like, are you okay? I was like, she was actually there. That's funny. They were leading up to Katie Holmes, and she was like 3 seconds, and that was it. That was hilarious. I liked it.
And then they also had who was it? The girl from Newsroom and X-Men Apocalypse.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
She had a brief cameo in those. I recognized the other celebrity who was next to her, but I didn't know who it was.
Yeah,
I like those because if you're gonna do the Met Gala, you actually need real celebrities there. Kim Kardashian was in a few scenes.
Yep.
Anna Wintour.
Yeah.
But to improve it, because screw it, let's just go to how we would improve it more. I think a good way, if you wanted to cameo the original Ocean's cast, she just tells her brother to bring them all there. And that, because in the beginning she's like, oh no, we're not going to be the suspects. You just get her brother and, all the original, squad there on camera, and they're the ones getting investigated, and they'll get off scot-free because they didn't actually do it. And they'll have alibis.
But those guys aren't going to put themselves in you're not going to double your crew and cut your pay in half to get guys to stand around to be your alibi.
But even if she could have got,
A couple
Say
of them.
Danny's not. Danny and Rusty, or Rusty and Linus.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that would be a solid connection to the movie, sure. But I don't think they needed to do that because the connection was already there. It was a sister, and it was a standalone movie, which it should have been good on its own.
Fair.
I
guess.
What else?
I just wanted to see, like, this got me excited to rewatch Ocean's 11.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
I
really,
after we record tonight, that's what I'm doing.
on my wall of DVDs here, I see Ocean's 11, 12, and 13, and I'm never going to watch 12 and 13 again, but I will watch 11 over and over again. What else would I change? I want a problem that they can't fix.
Yeah, and they have to, like, pivot.
Like, okay, say Anne Hathaway doesn't get sick. What do you do then? Or say she does get sick, but they can't get the and the fucking magnet lock, and it just that was a big problem, and that was a little bit of tension. But then there goes Rihanna. I was like, oh, my sister, she'll make it.
Yeah.
Vroom, 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 over to the park. It solved. It wasn't even tense for maybe not even 5 minutes.
It was like less than 5 minutes.
Yeah. So just give me more problems and get creative solutions other than just a phone call and a fix.
Yeah.
That's all, because it had the plan to steal the jewels was good. The hit was good. It was just the execution of this movie was terrible.
I agree.
Yeah.
So, all right, before we head into our final rankings, are you excited about future ones of these?
I don't know anymore, man. First of all, if Awkwafina's in it, then no, I'm not. Sandra Bullock, she can, no matter what she does, I'm going to watch it. I would love it if there was like a half and half coming up, but this thing got such poor rating or poor reviews, I don't think it's going to happen.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
It's pretty positive on Rotten Tomatoes, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
It's gotten good reviews, and most people I know that've seen it say it's fun and enjoyable. I think you and I are harsher on it than most people.
Let's see. I mean, I stand by my stuff. Oh, no, it's not good. Audience score is 52%.
What's the critic score, though?
68.
Yeah.
But we don't pay attention to critic score on Rotten Tomatoes because it's bullshit.
Well, I think our standing policy is to use whichever one fits our argument better.
That may be, Dave, but for this one, we're going with the audience score of
I do know
half-hated
this is the most profitable one of them already.
Well, that's because it was supposed to be so good. The trailer had me hyped up. I was dying to see this movie.
Yeah.
Marketing, it sold itself as being a great movie, and especially in this time of the whole Me Too and the next up. I don't know what the hell is the other one. Me Too and Time's Up. Time's Up movie.
Time's Up.
This was an ideal time for this movie to come out.
I think Next Up was an old MTV dating show.
Time's
Sorry.
Up. Time's Up.
I know. I think you said Next Up earlier.
I definitely did. Yes. So
it
was perfect timing for it.
It was profitable enough.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I would
they
just
made
like
40
to
million.
see if Soderbergh came back, I'd be really excited.
Yeah.
And they do like a half and half, because you know that's what they want to build to.
Mm-hmm.
Or even if next time it's mostly Sandra Bullock's crew with like a couple of people included from the beginning of Danny's, and then the one after that is like Danny bringing like Sandra into something.
I gotta tell you though, for them to come back with another one, fine if you want to do that, but they better have one hell of a reason why they killed off Danny Ocean for no fucking reason.
Well, you know he's not actually
No,
dead.
I understand that, but like, what is his reasoning behind him faking his own death? It better be really, really good.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Because if they just come back in and it was like, yeah, I wanted to go off grid, I was getting a little hot. Fuck you, man. No. That's...
You go live on a Caribbean island. You don't fake your own death.
You disappear. You don't fake your own death. That's such a hard thing to do. And a hell of a gravesite, too. Those things aren't cheap.
Oh, yeah. I kind of wish they had done that, too. Just that he was missing.
Yeah.
And, like, you can even have Ruben show up and be like, yeah, the crew doesn't even know where he is.
MIA. He said he could have said he was doing a job with some bad people and we didn't hear from him.
Yeah.
Sealed. That's all he needed to do.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Let's hop into our rankings.
Okay.
What do you want to do first? Popcorn or critical?
Let's go popcorn.
Popcorn. All right. I'll go first. I
Sure.
gave this a 2.5. Like I said, there were parts that I liked, and the bare bones were there, but I also thought about, I can get ahead at work during this. What about?
Actually, surprisingly, I gave it a 3, a little higher than you.
Oh.
Because my complaints didn't come in until afterwards, like when I was actually like thinking about it. Because in the moment it was flashy. I'm a sucker for like, a good gala. I love the nice dressed people with the balls, and it was a nice, visually pleasing movie. It was cozy. I hated Awkwafina. I really truly hated everything about her. But I also loved Sandra, and it wasn't a waste of money. I wish it was close to that, but I wish it could have been better. The disappointment factor was what my critical went way down, but it was yeah. I mean, it wasn't that bad, but it was bad. Average. So 3 and 2.5. It's like right down the middle.
Yeah.
Solid meh.
Very meh.
So I'll bring it down to 2.5.
Okay. Oh, the first thing I said, because I saw this with my girlfriend, and as we walked out, I turned to her and I was like, that was just really okay, right? And she's like, yeah, I had that thought in the middle of the movie. Which, like, that's not what you want people walking out of the theater to be saying.
Yeah. I mean, it's better than saying, that sucked. It was like, no, that... I mean, I say that sucks now, but it was okay. It was like, okay.
Yeah, it was still an enjoyable... The movie
day.
can suck and be an enjoyable experience.
Yep, it's time to go about my day and do my things now.
All right, critical score. What are you giving this?
I gave it a 62.
62?
Yep. It wasn't like it's a long-standing tradition. If it's under 50, it's worthless. So it's not worthless, but it's not average either. So I gotta fall right between 62.
Yeah, I've harped on all the things I'm gonna take away points for already. Mm-hmm. Like I said though, the bare bones is there. And I'm interested to see if they do another one with a better writer and a better director. I'll be back in, like, first night. I'd be excited. So I gave it a 69%.
Nice.
It's like a D+, C-, right in that zone.
That's fair.
They got all the points down. They just didn't do the homework to make it good.
Yeah. There we go. So,
right.
Yeah, 69 plus 62. No, I did that completely fucking wrong. 31 is not the average of that. Where's Jimmy?
I don't know. We can't do this without him.
66 is the final.
All right, that makes sense. That feels right.
Yeah, exactly.
So, if you are going to watch it again, what will you drink with it?
Gotta have a Cosmo.
Ooh, all right. That's solid. I'm going to have a martini for my boy Danny.
Nice. There you go. Tip out a martini in his honor.
Yeah, one for the homie. All right. Well, that wraps up this episode of 6 Week Cinema. 6 Pack Cinema.
Nailing it.
We have 2 episodes a week now. It's not this week's episode. This episode of 6 Pack Cinema. Tune in on Friday for our weekly headliners, and next week we are also reviewing Incredibles 2. So go see that and tune in for that. We'll see you then. Love y'all.